Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for another edition of Raising Vibration Radio and IntuiTalks. I'm your host, Reverend Raven, and welcome to the show. And tonight we were supposed to have a very special guest on here that was going to be talking to the angels for us. Her name was Julie Bentley, and she is the Diva Divine. I don't know what's going on with her. I haven't heard from her in a couple of days. She canceled the last time that we were supposed to do a show together. She was not feeling well. I don't know if she's feeling any better at this point, but who's to say? So we're going to send her lots of love and energy and some grid healing and maybe some lavender light from Saint Germain. And since we don't have Julie on the show tonight, the show must go on. So, I can do, life path readings. We can open up the phone lines. We can have a discussion. There's some really creepy energy creeping around. We can talk about that and some ways to uplift your spirit. So, thanks so much for joining us, and I'm so sorry about our guest not being here tonight, but you know what, as they say in showbiz, the show must go on, and we're going to go through with it, and I'm going to open up the phone lines, and we're going to ask you guys, what you like to do and stuff like that, and we'll go from there. All right, so Jenny, hang out in here. Thanks for being here with me, and I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to make Rosemary back on here. Hello, sweetheart. How are you this evening?
Fine. How are you?
Good. So, do you think we should do like a discussion panel, or did you want to do a life path reading, or you got something that you'd like to get off your chest tonight?
Oh, I did that earlier. Got off my chest.
You did? Okay.
I bitched and complained.
Aw. I'm so sorry. It's been crazy the past few days, hasn't it?
Yeah. A whole week.
Yes, that energy is crazy. And then, it's building up to this big lunar eclipse. And it has to do with relationships, be it with, a boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, that whole thing, or maybe even a relationship with your body or what have you. We're all in the relationship mode with life right now.
Hey, you said it all.
So, do you want to hang out here with us? I'm going to bring Bryn on here, too, as well. Okay, hold on. Let me bring Bryn here. Hi, Bryn.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Good. So, you heard the bad news about my guest not showing up.
Yeah, and actually, I have a kind of early day tomorrow, so I might just wait until your guest comes on again, because I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my goodness. What do you do that you have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Well, I do part-time work at a dog daycare center.
Aw.
But primarily I'm an energy healer, foot reflexologist. I do artwork. I'm kind of a psychic medium myself, too.
Great. Maybe you'd like to be a guest on the show. Where's your website at?
Well, I have a Facebook page called Many Worlds Healing. I don't have I didn't process the website, but I have a Facebook page called Many Worlds Healing. That's what I have, and then my email address at the moment.
What's your email address? Because I'm going to send you an email and ask you to be a guest on the show, okay?
Okay. It's Bryn Durham, BrynDurham, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Got it. All right, I'm going to share this information with our listeners, too, on our Facebook page so they can check you out and stuff like that. I'll send you a thing about being a guest on the show and stuff. Okay. And I really don't know what happened to our guests. Sometimes
I can also talk a little bit about foot reflexology, too, for people, along with, the psychic stuff. On your show, I could talk a little bit about what foot reflexology is and what it can do. If you're interested.
God, yes. We're about everything. Anything that raises your vibration, we're totally about that on this show.
Yeah, I like your voice, by the way. You have great, you have a very good sort of positive, lively spirit. It feels like you have you've been building up yourself in the light for a few years, and you reach a point where it feels like you're kind of you put a lot of protection around you. I feel like there's a lot of protection where it wasn't before
Mhm.
in the early times, and I feel like there's a lot of it's just you're stronger than you were. You found your strength, and it took some time to get your strength.
Well,
I think that's what I'm picking up.
that is so true. That has been happening a lot lately, and it is very true. So that is really good, and I look forward to having you on the show. I really do.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a blast.
I'd like to hang out with you guys, but I have like my 4:00 calling for the four-leggeds of the world.
And do you have pets of your own?
I have a cat named Simba. He's a tuxedo cat. He's a real cuddle bunny.
Aw.
Yeah, I love animals. I'm actually going to take a animal communication class in October, I'm hoping to, with a good teacher, because I want to learn how to talk to the animals like Dr. Doolittle.
I think that is great. I have 2 dogs and a cat, and Jenny, do you have 2 cats?
2 cats in the yard, yes.
Yeah, that's great. I like that.
So we're totally all about the animals, and I think that's great that you're helping out and doing that too as well. That's admirable because and giving up so early.
Yeah, it's kind of neat also being around different dog personalities. There's like big ones and little ones, and then ones that are very sedate and relaxed, and other ones that are loudmouths. So it's kind of like people. They have all these personalities, and it's kind of interesting to be in a group of maybe 30 or 15 dogs of all types and different breeds, and they all kind of have their own style, but one thing they all have in common, I feel, is that they have like boundless energy. It's like the big and the little ones, they could like almost like rough around or play for hours. They have, because what I think is the reason why is because I think we as humans, we have that filter of the logical brain and kind of sensors and inhibitors. Well, in the animal kingdom, they're kind of out with it, They're honest. They're in the moment. They don't censor a lot of their, unless they're trained, but they don't censor a lot of their actions or impulses. So in a way, their energy fields or their energy through their body is more freewheeling in a way, more available, It seems. Don't you think?
Oh God, yes. I remember when I rescued my dog up at the Lake City Animal Shelter. He's a Jack Russell terrorist. And they brought him out to me and stuff like that. Normally you go back to walking the cages, but I can't because I want to take every dog home with me, so I don't walk back there. And they brought him out to me on a leash and stuff. And the first thing he did was he sniffed my shoe and then he hiked his leg on me, which means ownership.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Is that something?
So I had a dream about him the night before that he was at the shelter, and it was on my birthday, and I went the next day, and there he was, and I got him. So
it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. So and they do respond instantly. Like it's right there, and they are honest and true about their own true feelings.
Yeah, they're in the. It's like they're great teachers for being in the moment. Because if you look at wild and domestic alike, they're just animals are it seems to me to be beings who are in the moment, in the here and now, and it's a great thing to be around because it's kind of refreshing energy to be in the company of someone or a being who has that present energy, because it's kind of like makes you aware yourself,
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of lessons from the animal kingdom.
Oh, and you know what? Speaking, you talked about you're into reflexology too. If you'll watch animals and how they deal with their health too as well, they're amazing.
Yeah, and actually that's one of the goals of foot reflexology is to get the person grounded and be in the moment. Be in their body so they're not kind of floating around in their head so much. That's one of the energetic kind of goals of foot reflexology is to place the person back in their body, where they can be in the moment and present and, being able to manifest in a lot easier ways.
So is that easy for you to do with the earth signs compared to the air signs?
What is that?
When you're doing reflexology on the earth signs, they're pretty much, they're right. Really easy, right?
Yeah, I never thought of that, but it's like, it would be an interesting study because I haven't really. That would be good to ask people, and make a survey of people who say, who are clients say, are you an air sign, and just see how common they are and how they need, like, do the air signs really need more foot reflexology than the earth signs? Are they, or
right?
What I mean? Because there's also some other aspects to the astrological chart. I mean, of course, as you know, you're not just your sun sign, but you could be an earth sign with like lots of air in you, so you could, but still you'd have the grounding of the earth sign, but you could be kind of sometimes up in the clouds.
Exactly. Well, I have all air, in the major stuff, the sun, the rising, and the moon. So. Right.
Well, listen, I got to go. So.
Okay.
But it's great talking with you guys.
Yeah, I'll send you an email and we'll set up a time for you to come on and be a guest on the show. I really appreciate you making the effort to be here tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Raven. Right? Raven?
Yes. Okay, you can call me Sandy. Sandy.
Okay, Sandy, Raven.
All right.
Okay.
Have a great evening.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So, well, good. I mean, it's not a total loss this evening. We got another guest that's going to come on here. Very interesting. Is it Rose Maria?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. So what's going on in your neck of the woods? I'm just curious.
A little chaos. Can't go to class. I got all canceled, and relationship, everything is going downfall for me. I don't know which way to go.
Aw. And it just all started this week for you? Because I'm just curious because I've had some issues myself, too, as well, with work. Is yours work related or is it like a relationship related?
I had a relationship with work and school and last week. Right after Labor Day.
It all started after Labor Day?
Huh.
Yeah, that's when all mine started, too, as well. What sign are you?
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, you're a Capricorn, earth sign. Wow. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what sign you are. It's all affecting us all in one way or another or anything like that. It's just, the energy is just totally, it's cuckoo out there. It really is.
Oh, it is. Like, I want stuff to happen. It's not happening. It's like, even started even before that, so it's like, crashed.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Rose Maria, are you in the toilet?
No, I have water running.
Oh.
I thought she was taking a bath.
No.
I could hear the water running. I didn't know if it was a bathtub situation or what.
There used to be a person that would call in, and she'd always be in the bathtub.
Really? Now, I have a friend that calls me, and she's, she always calls me when she's taking a bath. I don't know what it is, but she loves to take a bath when she's talking to me, and I don't know. It's like, what?
Very interesting.
It is crazy. So, what kind of, have you been having any difficulties yourself, Jenny, too, as well, with the energy that we've been feeling lately? Or it's all good for you?
I have had a lot less patience I try to be patient, but this week I have just went, I'm just not taking it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's just where I've been. I've been taking people off my friends list and, just sort of, I feel like I'm clearing out stuff and also being a lot more sharp. And I don't like that necessarily, to be more sharp, but I think sometimes you have to be with people. I just felt like there's people who are trying to, play head games or take advantage, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need this. So that's where I've been this past week.
Wow. Me too. I've been playing the game with my boss.
Uh-oh.
Oh God, yes. I did not work today, and I'm not working tomorrow, and that's not the way it's supposed to go. But, he didn't even call me and tell me the decencies that I wasn't working.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. And then he's hiring somebody that's going to be taking over dispatch, which he's not even technically working for the company yet.
Wait, another one, or
yes?
is it?
Well, no, it's that Derek guy that I told you about.
Oh yeah,
that one I went to meet on Labor Day, right? So he's not technically working for the company yet, right? So he had him call me tonight and ask me if I would work for half of the money that I normally work for, and work 6 hours. And I said no.
Oh, that it sounds like they're having problems, like even money.
Well, you know what? The thing is that we're supposed to be like James, the other driver. We're supposed to alternate days, right? Like. Yeah. When there's not enough work, I'm supposed to drive, and then James takes off, and then vice versa. James works and I take off. 2 days in a row now, I'm not working and James gets to work.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I brought that to the guy that called me tonight's attention and stuff, and he goes, well, do you think you'll be available to work Wednesday? And I said, well, I don't know. Am I PRN? Is that the game we're playing now? And, of course, if you all don't know what PRN is, that means as needed. Like a medication sometimes is subscribed to us. It's called PRN. You only take it if you are in pain or if you need a muscle to be relaxed or something. That's called PRN. So, and that's, it's actually... Yeah, it's actually, it's Latin, and it's got a big fancy Latin word. I don't remember what it is. I used to know, but I don't remember anymore. But PRN is when needed. So I asked him, I said, am I going to be PRN now? And he goes, well, that's a good question. I don't know. And I said, well, what did you talk to him about? And he goes, just you working tomorrow. And I'm like, but it took you 20 minutes to call me back. See, I'm so literal with these people, right? Because I'm catching them telling me little stories.
Right. Yep.
And I don't know how to handle that without sounding cynical or whatever.
Well, it is what it is, right? It's not, it doesn't seem like it's something, it's not a gray area. You could see what they're doing, So now you have to make that decision, how do you want to proceed? Because it might be temporary, that they're just trying to, save money or whatever their situation is, or it could be a personal thing, with the owner or whatever, because you guys had words or whatever. Like,
oh yes.
Yeah. So, but you have to decide, if you want to continue to be treated that way, or I understand with work you have to kind of swallow your pride often to keep a job, but still, it's still a decision for you to make. That's, my opinion. I don't know if Rose Maria wants to chime in,
What do you think, Rose Maria?
I feel the same way. I just, nothing. Need to go back to work and do something. Maybe too long to go back. How I feel. Well, in your situation, you got to do what you got to do.
Right. Well, the good thing is I got hired with Uber and Lyft today. I'm approved to finally start working with them.
Oh, good. I was going to ask, I saw on on Facebook something about Lyft, and I said, "Oh, did she get another job?" You know, I wasn't going to pry and be all up in your business. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got approved to work for them. The only thing is, with working for Uber and Lyft, you use your own vehicle, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And with working for this guy, I'm using his vehicle and under his insurance and all that stuff. But you're also under Lyft and Uber's insurance while you're working for them. So,
oh, you are?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good.
You are. So, you know, at this point, it really doesn't bother me that he doesn't have work for me because I have backup work. I can go and work with them. In fact, they have a bonus right now. Your first 30 days, if you do 100 rides, they pay you an additional $1,000 on top of that.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
So how hard is it to do 100 rides in 30 days?
I don't think very hard. That's what I was going to ask, though. Are they established in your area? Do they have a lot of callers or texters or whatever? Yeah?
Yes, they do.
Excellent.
My son uses them to get back and forth to work.
Excellente.
So, yes, there's a need. And of course, now you can go to the airport and hang out. We have 2 international airports in this area. We got Tampa International Airport and we got the Clearwater International Airport.
Perfect.
If you go to the airport and hang out at Clearwater, you can do it. There's not a big deal or anything like that. You're not going to have to worry about citations or anything like that. In Hillsborough County, where the Tampa International Airport is, there's a fight with the taxi drivers and the Uber drivers, right?
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yes. So you can drop people off at the airport with Uber, but you're not technically supposed to be waiting around for them. However, if you get them to agree to act like you're your friend when you go to pick them up and they meet you up in the short-term parking lot garage, then you can get away without getting a citation, which is $25.
Oh my God. That's like, well, yeah, because I think you need a license, a hack license or whatever. To pick up on, yeah.
Right. So Uber says if you get or Lyft, they say if you get a citation, they'll pay for it being at the airport.
Excellent.
And it doesn't count against your license or anything like that.
This sounds like a good gig because you could pick your own hours, right? You'll turn it on
yes.
when you're ready.
Yes.
Cool. Maybe this is why this is happening with that other job. You know, maybe they want to push you in another direction. The universe.
It could be. It could be. And then also, you know, Friday I went and applied for the wheelchair gig too.
Look at you. Right. I remember that.
Yes. So I haven't heard back from those people yet. And they give you a wheelchair van to pick up the people and stuff like that. And it pays, you're an actual employee and you do get insurance and it's way more money.
Awesome. I'm still hoping you get that, you know, but at least you have something else to fall back on, you know.
Mhm. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very
so that,
cool.
But according to the total lunar eclipse that we're going to have in astrology, though, it's like they're saying don't sign any, don't get into any new type of contracts or anything like that until after the 16th of September.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say anything. We're on the radio, for Christ's sake. I'm just saying.
So you loony bin, I know what you're going to say. It's all right.
Have a Archie Bunker and he'd like do the Bronx cheer, you know, like that.
No, I know. There is no contract with Uber or Lyft or anything. Like, I've already signed everything I had to, earlier before all this happened. So it's all good. So, you know me, I'm just throwing that spirit, but anyway, so back to what you were saying about, the relationships and stuff like that with people. You know, this is a 9 clearing year, right? We're having the 9 vibration. So, and we're getting towards the end of it coming up. You know, we got 3 months left of this year or something?
Well, yeah, and I think I'm not really into, like, I don't know a lot about numerology, but from what I understand, a lot of times it starts when it's your after your birthday or on your birthday for people, like your personal years.
Oh, yeah, so, but we're not talking about personal year. That's different from what I'm talking about. We're just talking about the year being just the 2016 is a 9 vibration. It's not a personal year. It implies to everybody. We're all saying that. And so, like, for me, I've had to do a lot of clearing out myself, too, as well. And I'm not done. And I only have 3 months left to finish up. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm not done yet.
Well, maybe that's what I'm doing. I mean, I think the whole year I pretty much collected things instead of got rid of them. So maybe I'm just making a jump for it now, like.
Right.
I'm just not into nonsense. I mean, I've never been, but it's bothered me more lately than it has before, you know. And these little things, I'm just like, no, why should I take this crap? Go away.
No, I'm totally hearing you, because I'm like, I'm proud of myself that I'm even though I bought a new car and I'm committed to making payments on it, but yet I'm messing around with this guy who gives me income. And I'm like sticking up and saying, no, I'm not, you can't treat me like this. And the old me would have cowed down and said, okay, bend over and take it up the brown spot because I needed the money, right?
Right.
But
totally.
I don't have that fear anymore. It's not there.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
very
really
empowering. Good. Yes, it's very empowering. It's like I know that whatever happens in this situation, it doesn't matter to let go of something else, because when I do, then something better is going to come along,
Exactly.
And I've given it lip service in the past and everything and all that, but did I truly believe it? No. Not till now.
I get that. Yeah. And sometimes you just, sometimes we talk and it's for us,
Yes.
And the more we speak, the more it gets through to us too. Like, you can know something intellectually, but it still doesn't pierce the emotional and the energetic,
Exactly.
Cool.
It really is. It's very empowering. Just like I know that this show, when I decided to do this show and stuff like that, back in December of 2014, Yvette and I got together and we were going to do this show and we were going to give back to people. But then, Yvette and I have soon parted and went our separate ways, and I kept the show going, and I thought, well, I'm going to do the best I can to keep helping people. But in essence, I'm not doing it really. I mean, if you want to know the truth, it really helps me to deal with this, to do the show.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, it's very empowering to do the show, to do it. Even though my guest didn't show up tonight, oh, big hooey, who cares? It's still an opportunity to share what's been going on with everybody's life, but also with mine, because you guys being here and listening to me is helping me to see that everything is going to be okay no matter what. And I'm truly thankful for that.
Aw.
I'm blessed.
Well, I'm thankful for you too, Reverend Raven. Seriously. This chick is awesome, just so people know. Sandy is an amazing person and a really good friend.
Well, I love you. I think you're amazing too. In fact, for you guys that listen in the archive or you're on here listening now, I see, last week we didn't do a normal show. We did Jenny's birthday party right here, and Jenny wasn't even invited. We did a show, Chris Times with Curious Times, who is a delight. If you guys never have been to her show, you need to go, because I didn't realize.
She's gonna be mad you called her a delight. I'm just saying.
I know. She's like, she's got this protective leather around her heart, but she really does have a big heart. I don't care. I told her that.
She does.
I said,
she's an amazing person.
She is. And so if you guys never have been to Curious Time, you owe it to yourself to go listen to her show. Cause one, she's funny. I mean, the sound effects that she does on her show, wow. You know, I was really impressed with that. I mean, she came on here and she took over like a boss, and she did those sound effects with the celebrities wishing you happy birthday. It was like they were here, or they actually called in and wished you a happy birthday. It was amazing.
I know. It was so cool. And I said to her, you know, it must have taken her a lot of time to do all that stuff. And I really appreciated it. It was just beautiful.
Oh, it was. I mean, not only did she do that, she pulled all the birthday greetings that people posted on your Facebook page and did a montage of them on the screen that you guys can see on here right now. She did an amazing job with that, just one right after another. It was beautiful to go through that. And she sat there and clicked. Not only did she talk and brought people on here and stuff like that, but she clicked through those screens, through the whole show. And it was beautiful. So that was it was a great show. And then we had Mama D on here who does a show on here she was doing a show that night. I think she does a show on Monday nights, right?
Yeah.
And so she came before her show and she wished Jenny a happy birthday. We had so many people stop by last week and wish her a happy birthday, and it was just the best show. The energy was amazing. And you gotta love those kind of things. I love that the network that you created has those type of people on here that they uplift and support each other in any time.
Totally. That was the best part to see. Yeah. Just people getting together and, doing something beautiful. That really touched my heart,
Oh, and I was just truly amazed that it came together as well as it did. And I wish you could have been there for your own birthday party. I really do.
No. It was good that way. 'Cause, I get stuck. Like, what do I say? Just sit there like.
I know.
Am I dead? I'm trying to pinch myself. Did I die? Am I?
Oh, I know. It's like a eulogy at some point during all of this stuff.
That's what I was saying. I said it on Facebook. I'm like, thank God for the humor, or else I would have really thought it was my eulogy. Because you guys were like, yeah, Jenny was and did, and I'm like, oh my God.
Well, you weren't there, so we couldn't say in present tense. When people, I was just amazed how many people showed up and came from their heart to share, and that just goes to show you the beauty of all of this in programming like this. So, in fact, let's see. I want to know how many people do shows on here. Just for, let's see. One, we got Curious Times. We got Energy Therapies. Jenny does shows periodically, but you gotta catch them, right, Jenny?
Well, I just I sneak them in. It's like when I feel like it, I put it in and I'm done, and nobody knows. Dolores is a quick one though. Dolores is on it. Yeah, I was like, damn.
Yeah, she caught you doing it. And there's Witches Bridges, which is you and Dorothy Holder doing that show together. And you guys do a collective of things like runes and spells and that kind of
all
stuff,
the
right?
Stuff. Yeah.
3 Points of Light. Is that the show I went to yesterday?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mama D, Jennifer Journey, and somebody named Brian. I don't know him.
Brian Clover. Yep.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I went to that show. A very interesting show. If you haven't done that show, you need to do that. That's on Sunday night. So check them out. Empower Your Life. Tell us a little bit about that, because you know about that show. You were a guest on there.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, I thought you were a guest on there.
Well, on a different network.
Right.
That's Mike Long and Jennifer Taylor's show, and they just signed on. Like they really haven't started doing anything yet on the network.
Okay, they're futuristically coming onto here to do a show, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're going to watch out for them too as well. Renee Richards does a teaching show here on Tuesdays. Is that free or do you have to pay for that one?
Oh no, that's free.
It's free? Okay.
She's wonderful too. She's a awesome psychic medium, and she does the psychic shows on another network, but she does her teaching here. And it's really neat stuff, about honing in on your skills, your mediumship skills and psychic stuff. It's pretty good.
Oh, that's great. I need to learn meditation apparently. Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm not I'm telling you, I've been in such a mood that I'll just say stuff, so
laugh, get it out of your system. All right. I lost my little place here. Small elk, sacred energy. That's Dolores.
Dolores, yeah.
Dolores.
And she does private classes, but she's going to start doing her animal totems meditations, which is really cool.
Oh, that's good. Did she say what day she's going to do that or no?
It's on the network there. It's like once a week, so that's cool.
Okay, good. Kathy's Distant Echoes. Is that Mama D?
No.
No, I don't know who that is. Okay.
That was 3 Points of Light is Mama D.
Okay.
Kathy's Distant Echoes is Linz and Rihanna.
Okay. I don't know them.
Yeah, they're awesome. They do the angel stuff. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So tonight we were supposed to do angel stuff. We didn't do it. You can catch Kathy's Distant Echoes for angel thing. And then we got Wings of Light Radio, which is not on here yet, which is Tammy, and she does type of psychic readings or something like that. I'm not sure. I know she does something. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a psychic, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, psychic. Whatever label. It doesn't matter what the label is. So there is the programming that you get right here on IntuiTalks. You get to, like I said in the beginning here, you guys can join this programming. It's free to join up. It's like Facebook on steroids for spiritual people. So, go in there, make your friends. It's an uplifting, supporting community, and it's just very lovely. I mean, I can't tell you how blessed I feel that all these people that I've met through Jenny on this network. And Jenny, thank you so much for creating this. It is so beautiful.
Aww.
It's been a year that you've been open now.
Over a
year now.
That's amazing to me, because I didn't know if I was going to be on that long. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, how it went. But thank you very much, Sandy. I really appreciate it. You're so sweet.
Well, I really do appreciate it. So anytime I can let you know how I feel about it and stuff like that, I appreciate it and stuff. It looks like it's just me and you and Tom on here.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, I'm like, they don't want to hear about IntuiTalks. I told you.
Well, who cares? The people listening in an archive, they do. They want to know.
No, I'm just kidding around, but I'm like, it would bore people if they're, it's like,
Well, I find it interesting because you did something else today I wanted to ask you about, since it's just us anyway. Oh,
okay.
This thing that you wrote here, it says, okay, you've been thinking about doing a new show here on IntuiTalks, or maybe you already have one. What you said first is, what was your recommendations for having a highly successful show?
I so feel like I'm being tested here. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, don't be tested. I don't know how to open up to read the article.
Oh, just click on the title. Click on the title.
Click on the title.
But no, I know what I wrote. I think, creating a group is the first thing that I highly recommend, and that's because when you do that, you have more tools to kind of blast your shows, and you have that. So you know what to do. But, it's also about emailing. You can email everybody on your membership list on the group.
Right.
You know, which is really neat because you could do that right at showtime, you know, and just be like, hey, I'm live, you know, and give the show code out and people have it. And sometimes people just aren't on their computer or whatever, and they could see the phone number and be like, oh, I'll call, you know, just a lot of people want to do that on their phone or whatever. So that was my first recommendation, you know, was to do the group thing. What else do you want to know?
Oh, you got magical powers when you create an event in the website dashboard. This is nice.
So funny. You're so cute.
So I go into the dashboard and I create this magical event on there to attract people on there on the group, but members will also be, well, but only when you create something in your group setting, it gets posted to the regular news feed too as well, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
That's a cool thing.
For sure. And you know, that thing about the adding the event to the group, that's a really neat trick because then the group has the list of events too, or that event. That's why it's magical.
It is magical. And then you told people to promote themselves on major social networks, and that's very true. You do need to do that to get people to come to your show. I concur with that one. That's a good one.
I mean, it's worth mentioning because sometimes people, I've seen it on, you know, the B Word, right? Mm-hmm. The other network, and
right.
People they don't have anybody there. And it's like, well, you need to promote it regardless, you know. I could understand when you put like the word free readings out there, people will come because they want the readings. But when you have like an interview or whatever, it's a little more difficult to acquire, you know, the listeners or whatever. So you want to make sure no matter what platform you're using to do the social media thing.
Right.
You know, and we had those little quick buttons that you could just click on your event and start sharing it, you know.
I know. I love that. I quit doing that. Like, I didn't do it for this show because I didn't know if she was going to come or not, so I didn't do that. But I love that feature that you've added on the show page where you have all the different places where you can share your information about the show, the day of the show or a week before the show or whatever, like Google+, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest.
I love it. She hesitated too. She was like, I'm going
to say it wrong. Linky dinkies. How about Linky Dinky?
Oh God.
I will butcher the English language and I don't care, okay? That's just me. I'm lucky I can say most of the words I say.
No, you do a great job. And you know what Bryn said is true. Your voice is so awesome. I've always told you that, you know?
I know you haven't, and I feel blessed. For none of you, for some, you know, some of you that are listening, I met Jenny like, she says it's like 4 years. It feels like 7 to me, but whatever.
What does that mean? No, I'm just kidding.
It's a good thing.
I know. I'm kidding.
But we met on another network, on Broken Talk Radio, as Chris would say it. And we were on the Judge Neil show together. I don't know if you guys know who that guy is, but he was quite comical, and you just had to laugh at his energy. He made a mockery of spiritualism. At least I thought he did. Yeah, I could be wrong.
Yeah. No, that was the point. It was supposed to be funny, you know?
Right. And so Jenny was on there, and I called in, and you know, and so he asked me to keep coming back, and I did, and I met Jenny, and we've been friends ever since then. And I couldn't, you know, even though I didn't get along with Judge Neil at the end, I'm so blessed that I met Jenny on his show.
Aw, yay. Me
I
too.
am. I'm
See,
so
that's
happy.
an example, though, of something that maybe wasn't the greatest at the time. It turned into something good, and I think that usually happens.
Yes.
You know, with things in life. What looks like a bad thing is sometimes really good.
Yes.
Later on. We just don't know, and we go, like me, I'm like kicking and screaming, oh no.
Well, I mean,
What's this?
come on, if change is not easy to handle, right?
No, I don't think for anybody.
It's hard.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, like for me, I'm a air signs, we're muted, right? So we don't really particularly care for change. If you tell us one thing, you fucking stay to it, right? Don't change it on us.
I know. See, I'm a little, like, I feel like I'm very adaptable, but there's certain things, you know, like, I don't think it's like anything which shows, obviously, because I'm pretty flighty with that stuff, but like there's certain things that will irritate me, you know, when it comes to change. But like my Tom, he's an Aquarius, and he definitely doesn't like change.
Yeah, it's like, hello, I just got into this routine, and I don't really care for routine either, because Aquarius don't care for routine. But we'll play the game.
I know, it's so funny. You don't like routine, but you don't like change.
Right.
It's like, what the, you know?
I know. It's really crazy and stuff. And I, you know, just like this guy I work for, I think he thinks he's still in freaking Russia, and this is a dictatorship because he changes the rules every freaking day on you.
Yeah, power trip.
Yes. But yeah, he didn't have the balls to call me and tell me anything different. He had to send somebody else. I love he has no balls. He's afraid to talk to me.
Take that as a compliment, you know?
I am. I do, you know, because the truth will always set you free. And he even told me the other day on the phone that he did not lie. What a liar! Everybody lies. Even I lie. It's human nature.
Right.
We all lie.
Yeah.
I don't care. If you sit here and tell me you don't lie, oh my God, no. We all lie at some point about something.
That's very true. But, you know, this person from the get-go, you could tell, you know, he's just not right, and he's got this old-fashioned view of women, and just, yeah, he's a mess.
Yes, he is. And I'm really, really pulling from the bottom of my souls up to my heart, sending him some love and light, but it's really hard. I really want to tell him to go fuck off. I'll say it right here. It's not raising your vibrations at all by saying that, but that's really what I want to do.
No, but sometimes it is. That's the thing. Like, I'm not a big complainer, but sometimes I need to release, and so do you and everybody else, because it has to go somewhere. If we keep it in us, it's just going to stay there and fester. That's not good. You know, and that's the cool thing. Doesn't mean you have to say it to him. You just said it now.
Yes, that's true.
Very, very powerful.
I just feel sorry for that guy. He's not even working for him yet. He has to call me and talk to me. And he's tongue-twisted by my questions because he doesn't even know how to answer them. And you can hear it in his energy, like he's like, oh, I think I better, and he's got an Irish brogue, right? Like, oh, I think I need to meet with him, Miss Sandy, to get the right answer for you. Oh, that's kind of like Indian.
I know, right? Would you like a Slurpee? I'm sorry,
would you like a fried Twinkie with that little ice soda there?
Delete. I'm deleting. No, just
Speaking of accents, does someone know about something about an accent that was done on them?
No.
Not to this day. Oh my God. I love it.
I almost did it earlier. I was like, no.
I heard you in the beginning. I was like, I know that voice.
Oh, look, Dolores is here, and we're just farting around.
I know. Hi, Dolores. You know what? We're just playing around because my guest didn't show up tonight at all. Better late than never, laugh out loud. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Dolores. It's Jenny. I came on to play because her guest didn't show, but it's nice to see you. We were just kind of shooting the breeze about life.
Yes, about this crazy energy that's going on right now. You should totally do your headset and come on and talk. In fact, we were just talking about you before you came on here. And you should defend yourself, so you better get on here.
Don't you do that. No, she's evil. No.
We were talking about your show. I was sharing with the listening audience that listened to the archive about the different shows that were on here, and we talked about your show and stuff as well. So, I do quite often, usually on the other network, not this one, but I talk about all the different shows that are on here. So I like to share with people the choices that they have, that they don't necessarily have to listen to my show. Here's Dolores. There you go. Hi. You're unmuted. I don't see her. She's not talking.
Hello.
Is your microphone muted on your headset at home? Yes, I am. No. I can't hear you talk.
Yeah, you might have the wrong.
Let me do it again. It muted itself. Okay, try now.
Yeah, she might have the wrong microphone selected on the IntuiTalks thing when you first come on. So click your headset icon in the upper left again twice. Oh, there she goes. She'll get it. She's done this. It just probably didn't. Okay, there she goes.
Okay, I'll just do this real quick. Dolores.
Oh, no.
No.
Wait a minute. Wait, before you go, you want to click it again, but you want to choose the correct microphone. So, like, when you do the audio test, make sure that you can hear yourself. Oh, there she goes. She doesn't let me finish.
Here, you talk to her before we undo the microphone thing, okay?
Well, let's see if she might work it out now. She might have heard enough to get it going, right?
Uh-huh.
I hope so. I really like her. She's a great energy. I enjoy her. I think she works with Native American stuff. I'd like to ask her about that.
Okay.
Are you having a mute game here?
No, I can't get it unmuted. Here, you try.
She's trying to unmute at the same time, I think.
Well, here, somebody unmute her. I'm done. I kept muting it.
Try it now. Go ahead.
Okay. There. Dolores. Hello. Okay, listen to what Jenny has to say real quick before you go and do it, because I'm not hearing you. But go ahead, Jenny.
Yeah, you just want to do your headset test. When you go in and you select microphone and it says, can you hear yourself? Just talk into the microphone. And if you don't, click no and select from the list your microphone. Then go back and do the test. I think it's not recognizing your mic.
Okay, try the web.
Wait, no, the webcam isn't sound. The web. Yes. There she goes. Hello? We got some sound, but you could tell it's the wrong microphone just by listening to that. That was like her computer or something.
Uh-huh. So when people come on here and they can't talk, it's because it's not recognizing what they got set up, so they need to click on the right one for their microphone, right?
Yeah, it's usually, it will say like USB or whatever. You know, it
gotcha.
sounds like for some reason. Aw. That stinks. I would have loved to talk to her.
Me too. I mean, it's still unmuted and stuff like that. We got a little bit of sound there and everything, and I don't know. I will come back in. Okay, do that.
Perfect.
Yeah, we got a little bit of sound and stuff like that, but again, for me, you know how I feel about Mercury in retrograde. I know you don't play the game, but I sure do.
No, but it's just obvious she's using the wrong microphone. You know, like it's not using her headset microphone. So
now, is she from England, or is that somebody else that's from England?
That's somebody else.
Oh, okay. I knew one of the people on the network is from England that does a show, right? Is that Lindsay?
That's right. That's Linz and Rihanna.
Oh, okay.
They do the really nice angel readings show, and Linz also does every week some archived, like old recordings from Kathy's Distant Echo shows, which was on the other network. You know, she passed away.
Yes.
And so it's really nice to just, you know, keep her memory going there. Very nice.
Nice. I didn't have the pleasure of knowing Kathy at all.
Oh, she was a doll. She was a Southern person, you know, so she was very polite. And if she would say, hi, my this, and hi, my Jenny, and hi, that's how she'd enter the room. Just very, very, very sweet.
Aw. Beautiful. Well, you know, the Southern people, we're very kind and nice to everybody that comes in our presence till you cross us over, and then we're going to, you know, the South will rise again.
No, and Kathy was tough when she had to be, but she, you know, it was the cutest, and we all joke about this. When she didn't care for something, she would say, bless your heart. Or bless your pea chicken heart, if it was really, you know. That's like code, you know. That's like code for, okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you're not, yes, I understand that very well. It's just like the double X's I get from somebody every now and then.
Oh, God.
You know,
la,
it's
la,
code.
La, la.
La, 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 you're not listening. That's okay. That's, bless her heart. Bless her pea chicken heart.
Yep.
Well,
poor
I guess
Dolores.
Poor Dolores. I don't know if she's going to make it in here or not. She tried.
Yeah, I don't know. She usually does a good job. Now, I'm not sure. That's not her. But she usually does a good job when she has to do, you know, her classes or whatever. So something's up, you know.
Mm-hmm. So the guest that just appeared in here, that's not her?
It shouldn't be.
Okay.
Very weird stuff.
Yeah, I know. You open up a studio and see who will pop in during the show. And so here we got the guest again. Let's see.
Maybe it's her. You know, it's possible she didn't log in to begin with. No, that's somebody else. Hi, guest.
Hi, guest. You guys listening in? We are, my guest canceled tonight on, Raising Vibration Radio. So we are just doing an impromptu.
Oh. It's, Dolores. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay. It asks for Chrome microphone permission now.
Well, yeah, that's probably what you were missing. You probably weren't getting the pop-up. So if you select yes, then you should be good. If you're interested. If not, that's okay. It could get frustrating, you know. Oh, she's trying.
She's doing it. She's a good girl. She's going to go for it.
A for effort.
Yes.
But that's the thing, you know, a lot of times if you have like a pop-up blocker or something like that, that's another thing that might cause somebody not being able to use their microphone. You know, because it'll ask you for permissions. It's the browser that wants the permission. And if you don't get that pop-up, then you're not going to, get on.
Oh, of course. It's just like a couple of weeks ago, on a Wednesday, I do my Year of Miracles class on the Reverend Raven webpage for my, the people in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. You upgraded the system or something. You added the Skype feature for the shows and stuff like that, I think. And stuff, and then it kicked me off because I'm always signed in on here all the time, right? You know that. So I got kicked off and everything. I went to re-sign in. It would not let me sign in for crap. I could not do it. I would go in and all this stuff, and then you're like, well, clear your cookies. I'm like, okay. And I tried to clear my cookies, but apparently I wasn't doing it right. So I had to ask my son, which I had to humble myself, and he goes, you're a slave to technology. You don't know how to do technology. Da 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 da. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I had to humble myself before him. To get him in here to clear out. It was on Chrome, right? And Chrome seems to give you some issues. You know what I mean?
It can. Anything can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he did it, and I was able to get on after that, which, it was like, wow. But I could not, that night, I could not get on there. There just was not happening for me at all. I couldn't figure it out, nothing.
I appreciate the feedback,
Oh, it's not you. It wasn't your fault. It was on my end. It was my stupidity.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Clear my cookies.
That's all it was. When, things change, once in a while you will not be logged in all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and, it will happen anywhere. Facebook.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, God, yes. It happens anywhere.
So then, if you had the old setting saved, that's what the cache is. Then it's not going to let you in because you have a different thing going on. It's not compatible with what I have there. So that's all it was,
Right, and as Aquarius, we don't like change.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
It's like, I gotta do what? Again? No. There was a time where technology did not bother me whatsoever, and I was so it was like, oh, cool, this new thing's coming out. I always, especially with computers, because I worked at Dell, taking them, telling people how to take them apart and resetting different things within their laptops and stuff, because I worked for the business division. And so we'd have to troubleshoot before we could send out a part, because you would get a ding if you sent the wrong part against your call service, right?
Oh, it sounded like you were going to get like a shock or something.
Well, yeah, they pretty much shocked the crap out of you.
Bad girl, bad.
Yeah, you would get reprimanded. Well, I'm back, and it keeps saying I'm logged in, and laugh. Oh, I bet you got to clear your cache too, like I had to.
This is very interesting. Whatever. I don't know. She can't hear ananyway.
No, I mean,
what can I do here? I could tell her she had her sound on, and then she didn't.
Right. I'm just weird that it's not. She's showing as a guest and not logged in.
Yeah, I don't know. Something must have happened. Oh, now she did it because she got her. Okay. Anyway, I just saw that she created a new group.
Oh, she did?
Yes, she did. Awesome.
For her radio program?
That's right.
Good deal. Let me go in there and sign up for it right now.
I did.
I'm going to go in there and sign up for it too, so I can keep abreast of when the show is going to be on. That's one of the things too. If you join IntuiTalks, you want to join these groups and stuff like that. so you can keep up to, you get an email notification whenever they're going to be on, in the group setting, you'll get an email to you, sent to you and stuff like that. I don't know. I got to figure out let me just go to groups and do it that way. But, that's one of the great things about doing it. So I know whenever somebody's having a show and stuff like that, I know I can be one of the first people to know. So because I'm going to get a notification every time, right?
That's right. And yeah, she said for her meditations on Saturday mornings. And Dolores, I noticed it was for the animal totems meditation. That's super cool. I checked that out and I was like, and that's what I wanted to ask you. But maybe another time when you can talk. But I obviously you have a Native American name, Small Elk. So are you a shaman, or I just wondered what the situation was, because I love Native American stuff and I really love shamanism. So I was curious about that. Okay. Small Elk is her medicine name.
Oh,
awesome.
That's cool. Well, answer me this, Dolores, if you don't mind typing, because I do. How do you get rid of the small brain? Let's see how I explain that. Like my small brain in me when I feel like I can't do something, or I've got a one-track mind. The animal brain, the lizard brain, and ourselves. How do we get rid of that? Or is that maybe I should ask you on a question? I should have you on the show and we could talk about that, because I really want to know.
I was just going to say that. We're putting her on the spot, but
I know.
She would make a very interesting guest, definitely.
Yes, you need to live in the moment, right? Yes, we do need to live in the moment. We were talking about that earlier tonight. We were definitely talking about that earlier tonight. Well, Dolores, What?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jenny.
No, I was just going to say she's right. It wouldn't be an animal brain in some regard, because, animals tend to be in that moment. They're not worried about next Tuesday at all, right?
Right. It's a reptilian brain, actually. I guess.
Well, a reptile is an animal, so.
Well, that's true. That's true too.
Ooh.
The flight or fight kind of restrict. That is living in the moment, flight or flight. You know what I'm saying? In that brain.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, you are. I mean, think about it. If you're reacting or you're stopping to think about it or running, you know what I mean? So that is living in the moment. There's no consciousness going on.
Well, wait a minute though. You're running from the moment. If you're in flight mode.
That's true.
I'm just,
That's true too. That's a good topic there, though. That is a good topic to sit there and discuss.
It is.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Meditate. I know. Everybody's been telling me to meditate lately.
Meditate. Yeah, but don't get me started. We've already made so much trouble tonight, for myself anyway. I'm like, you don't have to do this stuff in a cave and go, ooh, to meditate. There's so many ways to do it. It's just about getting to that point where there is no monkey mind or thought or whatever. It's just focused on nothing. The best example, I've been saying this for a long time, but everybody else is in line with it. Doing dishes is meditation, right?
Yes.
You don't have to do a lot. Yeah, coloring in the coloring. I got one too, Dolores. I've got an adult coloring book. But that's the thing. You just turn that stuff off. You do something like coloring, or you do something like washing the dishes, and it's amazing what you come up with. And my funniest thing is, earlier we thought that girl was on the toilet.
Yeah.
I get the best things on the I'm just saying, sometimes I come out from the bathroom and I've just, figured out how to solve world peace or something. It's pretty good.
I know, it's just like that quote I had in my brain. I was taking a shower and and I was thinking about, boy, about being handicapped, how they don't put any limitations on themselves, and yet we do, and we have no handicap at all.
There you go. See, that's so you meditated. That's it right there. Boom, boom.
Yes. So it happened. It happens when I'm driving too.
Yeah. Thank God we have autopilot. That's another thing. That's a good example of the meditation stuff, though. How did you get home?
Right.
Right? Sometimes it's true. Most of us have done this. We're like, wait a minute. I was like somewhere else and somehow I got myself home. That you just totally clicked off, and thank God the body, that part just takes over and you get home,
Exactly. I mean, sometimes I tell you the truth, I don't even know how I got home. And I'm like, before you know it, you're there. And that makes, is our body alert enough to avoid accidents in that moment? What's going on there? Right?
Oh my God. All very interesting stuff. And, I think that, yes, I think you do have the natural reflexes during that time because you know how to drive, and you know where you're going, and that's the different part of the brain, So,
right.
Right.
So ours says our subconscious takes over.
Exactly.
It is incredible. It really is, that the things that, happen and stuff like I can totally zone out. Well, hell, sometimes when I'm, going through my work on the computer, I've got like 15,000 emails to answer through and I've got some kind of music on the background and all of a sudden I zone out and I don't know what I just read, to tell you the truth, but yet the email's answered and sent off its very way.
Yep.
Do you do that?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
It's like, for craziness. And I tell you something else with this crazy energy that's going on right now that we're experiencing in this very moment, my keen senses of knowing what's going to happen. Like I knew I wasn't going to work tomorrow. I knew that my boss didn't have the balls to call me. I didn't know he was going to send Derek to call me, but I knew that he wasn't going to call me. I knew that, my guest wasn't going to show up tonight on here. I just knew it.
Yeah.
All these keen senses are coming about and I know things are, these things are happening and it's like, am I predestined it by saying it right from the beginning? Did I make that happen?
Oh, another good one.
Right?
And that's a huge debate, in a lot of places. It's like, some people are frightened of, quote unquote psychics because they feel that they're willing that, by saying it. Mm-hmm. And I don't agree with that necessarily, but I do believe that can happen.
Right.
But I for the most part, I don't think a true whatever intuitive or psychic or whatever you want to call them is somebody that creates a future for you. First of all, you create your own future,
right,
by the choices you make. Even when a psychic tells you this is going to happen, that is totally not written in stone, in my opinion, because you always have that free will. That to me is just like a glimpse of what could happen if you stay in that same path, on that same path or the same direction. But we are manifestors, and I think some of us are really good by just speaking. We create something.
Right.
So I
Well, the thing is that I don't have any control over another human being. I only have control over myself.
Right. Yeah.
So I know I can't control that by just saying that, I just had a feeling that for some reason.
I think you knew.
I just knew.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, wait a minute. You asked me, and I said, well, how do you know? Because it was so ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, how do you know that she's not coming. Like, I don't know what I said. I'm kind of grumpy, you know? Hey, it happens.
Yes.
Like, especially, she's like, do you want to come on the air?
You're grumpy. You're beautiful when you're grumpy.
Well, I'm not mean. There's a difference, right?
Yes, there is a difference. And but I love your grumpiness too, as well. I love all of you. When you love somebody, you accept everything about them. So I just think you're totally amazing. So.
Thank you.
But you're right. I mean, I just knew that she wasn't going to, be showing up here and stuff like that, ahead of time. And it's like, okay, what am I going to do? But I can't keep canceling the shows. I needed to do this show for me tonight. I needed this,
I totally get it.
For myself.
This was a nice thing. Perhaps I needed it and I didn't even know, because I was like, oh, of course I was going to, call in because. Oh.
You always help me out. You got my back.
But I was kicking and screaming. Talk about not liking change. I was like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I said, Tom, you're going to make me call in, and I'm tired.
Aw, you poor thing. I need to send you some mint tea.
Can I have some mint julep?
That's right. You need some good old Kentucky bourbon in that.
No, but it was good that we got together tonight, because I'm not as grumpy as I was.
Aww.
I was actually meditating. Talk about, this is the funny, I was trying to find some center because this past week I've had an issue with something, and I'm like, I'm ready to let this go, so I do these meditations where I use my stones and I put them on my body in certain spots, and then I do my own visualizations of whatever, and then some energy work for myself, and I was letting that go, and then I was done, I got up, and there you were, and I was pretty much out of it too. I was like, what?
What? Oh my God, she's so needy, damn it.
No.
Damn.
No, that's just, no. I'm just saying but it was a nice meditation. It was so cool. And I like those kind that people don't necessarily have to follow a meditation either.
Right.
I mean, some want to, or they need to if they're just beginning, I guess, to get a idea. But I think it's cooler when you do your own because you know what you need,
I'm trying to find this. Okay, on Chrome, how do you do that? Wait a minute. I think I just figured it out. I'm going to give you guys a link, I think, if I can do this right, of a meditation I did earlier. And I kept seeing, and I want to share this with you guys because this creeped me out. Here's the link. It takes you to a YouTube video. And
oh no.
and I kept seeing in this thing, I gotta shut it off. But I kept seeing an angel. I kept seeing an angel in it, but I also saw death in it, like a cloak kind of thing, like a purple cloak with no face. It was black, like the Grim Reaper is the best words I can say. I would see the Grim Reaper and then an angel, and then I saw butterflies, but then it come back to the Grim Reaper again, and it kind of creeped me out.
Then that's when you leave. You don't do it anymore, right? And Dolores she makes a good point. Meditation is actually just quieting the mind. Exactly. And a guided meditation is for if you need help or entertaining. But getting back to your link, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it, right?
Right. I mean, and the Grim Reaper had a purple cape on, not a black one.
Well, purple
Maybe
is
it wasn't
kind
a
of
Grim Reaper.
cool.
Right.
Maybe you were just seeing what. Let me give you this example. Dorothy, a while back, we were doing a show, and she was showing me these slides ahead of time.
Uh-huh.
And I said to her, well, what's the wolf slide for? Right?
Right.
And she goes, what wolf slide? There's no wolf. And I'm like, yes, there is. I'm looking straight at a wolf. It was a log. For some reason, this photo looked like a wolf to me.
Wow.
And what that was a message to me. I went ahead and I looked at the wolf totem, just to see what the deal was. But it's,
You know what? The image that I saw reminded me of the cartoon character Raven in Teen Titans.
I don't know what that is exactly. But.
It's a cartoon on Toon Network. The same ones that do Cartoon Network.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so they do Teen Titans. Cecil watches cartoons, so every once in a while they're on. That's how he quiets his mind, is to watch cartoons. So Teen Titans, it's like a mini Robin, and then there's this other little girl over, and but Raven, she wears this cloak, a purple cloak, and you can't see her face.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that was me.
And that's what I mean, though. I think sometimes we just see what's in our subconscious or whatever,
Right? Who knows? All right. Well, you know what? It's 10:01, and we made it through another exciting edition of Raising Vibration Radio.
I love that, and I have to love those really long titles. The awesome. I mean, it's, oh my goodness.
I have to look up those words to use them in my title. You know that, right?
Of course.
Because that's not like in my normal language that I would think of in my head. I have to look up positive adjectives and positive adverbs that begin with A or B or C or D.
Well, that's the thing. You put the alliteration in there. It's not just the adjectives and adverbs. It has to be the same letter.
Yes, it has to be the same letter as their name.
It's very funny.
Thank you.
But very creative,
Oh, well, I put some forethought in it. I try my best anyway, but I have to look things up. I am human. I am not a dictionary walking around with every freaking vocabulary word in my brain. I couldn't do that.
No, and I love I can't speak, thesauruses. I really like I can't say it anymore. You know what I mean?
You're hanging around me. You're not going to be able to say anything because I won't be able to say it.
I'm tired. Dolores, say it for us. Thesaurus. There we go. Thesaurus.
Yay, you did it. It's a T-Rex. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming and playing with us tonight. Dolores, thanks for hanging out with us. You guys are listening into archives. If you have not done it, go and join up for an account for IntuiTalks because it's a great spiritual network. So there's great programming on here, and you're just going to love it. And two, like our Facebook page so you can keep up. I post our people's shows on there, or when we're having a show, and our guests and quotes and stuff like that. And also go like IntuiTalks Facebook page because they put a wealth of information on there too as well. Is there anything you'd like to say to close us out, Jenny?
No, just thank you for having a lovely show, Reverend Raven.
Aww.
I look forward to next week's edition.
Me too. Sandra Dawn is going to be on here, and we're just going to have a great old-fashioned talk. So I'm looking forward to that show. And
wonderful.
Dolores, thanks so much for coming in. And Tom, I love you, honey. I can't wait till we go out and party like rock stars one of these days. We're going to have fun.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. All right. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next week, next Monday night. Same bat channel, same bat time. Or Raven time.